Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to go ahead and be a really simple, easy Christmas look. This is what it looks like. I tried to make it very simple, very easy. A simple red cut crease with a green bottom lash line. Like I said, I tried to do it really simple, really easy. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at Ariel Celeste, as well as subscribe to my channel and like this video if you end up liking it. I hope y'all's Thanksgiving went well. I really feel like I haven't filmed in forever. So let's go ahead and let's get started with today's video. We're gonna go ahead and start off. I know that earlier I just said that today's video is gonna go ahead and be a Christmas video. I'm gonna try to make it as simple and easy as I can. I've gotten a lot of good feedback saying that the way that I explain things is really easy to basically comprehend. So I'm gonna continue to make my videos that way. Remember that my main source of light is coming in from this way, so it's gonna look a little bit off, and this side's gonna be a little darker because I just have a lamp on that side. So you are gonna go ahead and see a few different products in this week's video. The first thing is brows, and this week in the video I used the e.l.f. brow pencil in shade I think it's like dark brown. I don't know, it doesn't have a shade on here, it just shows like this color right here, and it looks black. But on the package, it said that it wasn't black, so I don't know, but it was like way too dark for me, so I did have to go ahead and mix in the Lancôme Brow Shaping Powdery Pencil in shade 04 Brown. So what I've been doing is just carving out my brows with the e.l.f. one, just drawing it out, and then filling it in with this one, and then mixing it all together whenever I disperse the product. That way, it go ahead and gets a good mix. I am still using the BH Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer in shade 104. And then for the wing, I am using the Seraphine Botanical Liquid Kohl Waterproof Liquid Liner. I'm just trying out different liners to basically find the one that's going to be perfect for me. I love my Lottie London Duo Stamp Liner, but because I've been using it so much recently, it's starting to dry out. The stamp side is still good, but the felt tip side is just starting to dry out, so I'm just trying to find a new liner. For today's video, we are going to use the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I really just love this palette because it has a lot of good shades in it, especially for the colors. The look today is going to be like a red and green Christmas look. I'm probably going to end up wearing this whenever we do our ugly Christmas sweaters. So I'm kind of just going based off of that, kind of just putting ideas and thoughts into my head. So we're really just going to be focusing on all the reds right here, as well as this line of green. The first brush that I am starting off with is going to be this pencil brush right here. It's a really small pencil brush, like tiny. And then the other brush is going to be a flat shader brush, and it is tiny. I have a different flat shader brush that I use in previous videos, and it's a little bit bigger than that, but this one is really going to be able to get into the crease. And in the crease, we're going to go ahead and start off by putting down this red shade. That's going to be the first shade that we're going to go ahead and dip into, and that's really going to be the main shade that we're going to use throughout. Starting off, I'm just going to take this flat shader brush. I'm going to dip into the red shade, but I am going to go not flat. I'm going to go straight down and just take the tip of it. That way we can really focus on the red right into the crease. So just tapping into that red shade. With that shade, we're going to go ahead and put it right into the crease, or creating your own crease if your crease is not that visible. And I'm going to go ahead and start off by just putting it down. So following the shape of the way my liner is going, we're going to kind of follow that. And don't worry if you mess up just a little bit, because we are going to go in with concealer later and carve it out. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is take this very small blending brush, and we're going to kind of blend out just to disperse the product. dispersing the product, it is just going to start to basically disappear that dark line that we just made, but we are going to go back in and define it just a little bit more and adding more shade to it. So going back in with that flat brush. What it is looking like so far, and once again we're just going to go ahead and blend it out, and we're going to continue this back and forth process until you get the not the consistency, but the blendability that you like. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that very small blending brush, once again the pencil brush, and I'm just going to blend it out. So because my lids do fold a little bit right here, I am going to go ahead and add just a tad bit with looking straight right above the crease. That way you can go ahead and see that line just a little bit more visible. Now going back in, just blending that up and out. Take a very small flat concealer brush and the concealer. So being really careful, we're going to go ahead and start to carve out that crease. So I'm going to go ahead and just start in the middle. So I'm really just following the crease, like the way that we were shaping out the crease with the shadow, and I'm just basically defining it. And I'm just intensifying the concealer because this is the way that I like the way that it is cut. I am done carving it out with concealer. This is what it is looking like. So what I'm going to go back in and do is just add a little bit more red with that flat shader brush that we've been using before, and just add it on top where we carved the concealer. What that is looking like so far, and what we're going to go ahead and do is put white right on top of the concealer part just to intensify it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this white shade right here from this palette, and I'm just going to use a flat concealer brush to do so, and I'm just going to go ahead and pat it right on top of the concealer. thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is just go back in and go over the liner. If you haven't done your liner, go ahead and do so at this point. If you don't want to do liner, then that's perfectly fine. But this is what that look is looking like so far. As soon as we add on lashes and do everything else, it's going to look really put together. If it looks crazy right now, it's completely okay. We're gonna go ahead and do is lashes. Like always, I'm using the Ardell Mink lashes in style 812. I really need to get a new pair or a new set of lashes. If you have any lash recommendations, please let me know. I always like Ardell just because of the really flexible and thin lightweight bands. So if you know any other lash companies that have thin lightweight bands, please let me know. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply it with the Ardell Duo Lash Glue in shade White Clear. If you want to see how I apply my lashes, go to my video how to brow lashes and wing, and it'll go ahead and be in that video. Okay, so I am back from putting on my lashes. The next thing that we are going to go ahead and do is our face. I'm going to be using one different product than I normally use today. I did go ahead and pick up a foundation. Actually, the foundation was given to me, so I do have a new foundation. But the first thing that we are going to go ahead and do is the Pond's Nourishing Cream Moisturizer. And with this moisturizer, I do have a small tiny sample from MAC. It is the Strobe Pink Light, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix a little bit in with that. I tried it out the other day, just really playing with it, and it looks like a really good highlighter. I think you're supposed to mix this in more like as a primer, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix it in with my moisturizer, just because I really don't use a primer. So let's see what kind of sheen or glow it gives me. The next thing that I'm going to go in with is the Clinique Even Better Makeup Broad Spectrum Foundation. It says it's SPF 15, evens and corrects. And I'm in shade 25 Buff. This is what that looks like. This is that new foundation that I was telling you that I was given. So far, I really like it. It seems to be like more like a perfect match for me. Like I said, I always had a real time finding a perfect match just because of my hyperpigmentation and like my uneven skin tone that I have and the redness. So it always was really hard to figure out what shade is kind of best for me, and I've used this a few times and it seems like this shade is a perfect match. And I love that it is buildable, as well as the fact that it does not dry down completely matte. I do not like matte foundations, and that's just more so because my skin is really dry, so I like something that's gonna show up on me and make me look a little bit more dewy than like how I normally look dry. So even though this is more like a medium coverage and it takes a while for it to build up to full coverage, what I normally do is, just because I do use concealer, I'm perfectly fine with leaving it medium coverage because the concealer kind of covers up these spots where it looks like it's medium coverage. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is concealer. Like I've said before, I'm using the BH Total Coverage Concealer in shade 104. Within the next few weeks you will be starting to see a new shade, or within next week, if I end up opening up that new concealer, you're probably going to end up seeing a new shade, because like right now it basically looks like the shade that is on with my foundation. So I did want to go ahead and go a shade lighter, and we'll see if it works, because I know with this concealer, with that shade 102, it has kind of like a peach tone to it, and because my skin's already so red and my skin's kind of like peachy anyways, I'm gonna see how that's gonna go ahead and work out. and if that's even going to work out. So I'm going to go ahead and take my beauty blender once again, this time spraying with the Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray. I love this spray just because it is illuminating, but it also helps the concealer seep into my skin just a little bit more. And like always, if you see me looking off to the side, it's just because I have my mirror literally right here. That way it's not on the camera. Now that that is all blended in, we're going to go ahead and use the Hoola Benefit Bronzer to bronze the skin. I do have to let y'all know that I do have to go in with a light hand, just because it makes me look a tad bit muddy. So I'm going to try not to make the mistake that I did last week and go in with a really rough hand. Basically almost done with this entire look. Like I said, I always try to do something so easy and so simple, really for, you know, beginners or people that just really want a on-the-go type of deal. So now for highlight, I'm going to go ahead and mix the two. First, I'm going to go ahead and apply the MAC Pink Strobe Light on to there, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out with my fingers. And that's going to kind of be the base for the highlight. As you can tell, this product really does do the job. Just going in, just tapping it in. So now I'm going to go in with my normal highlight, which is a Mannakadar Duo Split Pan Mineral Powder Highlight. And I'm just going to use this Sephora Pro Crease Brush in the number 10. I know this is a crease brush, but it really works best for my highlight. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that right on top of that strobe light that we just put down. Okay, so because we're basically almost done with the face, now what we're going to go ahead and do is the green part of the eyes. So I'm just going to take go ahead and take a flat definer brush. I do need to go ahead and clean this off before we continue. But I'm just going to go ahead and take a flat definer brush with the shade green that's in the BH Cosmetics BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix these two greens because this green is a little bit too dark for me and this one's a little bit too light. So what I'm going to do is put down the light shade first, and then we're going to go back in with this darker green, and we're going to kind of layer them on top of each other and just having them blend in with each other. And we're really going to want to apply most of the lighter green, the more highlighter green, and that's just going to really help the colors blend in really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and tap into this darker green that's right next to it. We're just going to take a little bit on the brush and blend it in with that lighter green that's already there. And those two shades kind of give it more of a Grinchy green type of vibe. So that's really what we're going to go and aim for, is more of a Grinch green color. So this is what it is looking like with the eyes. I really like the way that this is turning out. It's just give you more of a, you know, Christmassy feel. If you want to go ahead and add more of a Christmas vibe to it, you can always make your liner like a candy cane type or add like a bunch of glitter to it. I honestly don't like to use glitter, so of course I'm not going to go ahead and use glitter. So for the lips today, we're going to go ahead and use the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Very Cherry. This is that shade right here. This is what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and swatch it if I can find a place to swatch it. So this is what that looks like right here. It's very bright, very red. And then the lip color, the liquid lip that we're going to go ahead and use is the Colourpop Satin Liquid Lipstick in the shade Abush. It's really red as well. It goes great with this lip liner that we're about to pair it with. And I normally don't use lip liners, but because of this red and the fact that it leaks around, I'm going to go ahead and do a lip liner. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, do this off camera, and then whenever I come back, we're going to go ahead and do the outro and show the finished look. Okay, so I am back from putting on the lipstick. Like I said before, I basically used the Colourpop Satin Liquid Lipstick in shade Ambush and the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Berry Cherry, number 145. This is that finished look. I really like the way that this lip turned out. It's really festive. It's really cute. The lip is a lot bolder than what I thought it was going to be for this look. So what I would do, just a tip, and what I would do is just basically go in with a little bit more red. So is the green. I feel like the red, you know how sometimes with red pigments it's hard to pick up. I feel like the red didn't really pick up as well as I wanted it to. But that's just a little bit of a tip. If you want to go in with more red, go ahead and do so. I really like the way that this look came out, just with it looking like right now. But yeah, so this is that finished look. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe and comment down below. As well as don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at Ariel Celeste. That's where you're going to get all the updates and what I'm doing and when everything's going to be posted. But I think that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next video.